haven't set foot in the US for 16 years, and recently me and my family went there on a trip, so this is my vlog. For those of you who don't know, my name is Corey. I am a freelance graphic designer, and I am planning on moving to Chicago with my wife Sandy after she gets her green card. So this trip is pretty confusing actually. There are a lot of moving parts, so grab a coffee, sit down, put your feet up, and I will walk you through my Chicago trip. First, Sandy packs for me, okay? Like, she always packs for me, and it's not because I can't pack for myself, it's because she doesn't trust me to do it, okay? So there's a difference. So we drove to Taoyuan in Taiwan to the airport, and on our way there it started raining super hard, and I think our luggage got wet a little. At least my dad's luggage did, and also his suitcase broke, so the wheel fell off, and we didn't even check in yet. So yeah, awesome start to the trip. And for this trip we flew Eva Air. So Eva Air has those Hello Kitty planes, and their utensils are like pink and have Hello Kitty stuff on them. The reason why we chose Eva Air is because this is my first time flying internationally with epilepsy, and I was very nervous that I was going to get a seizure. So I wanted to make sure that I could sleep the whole way on the plane. We could have done a transfer in Seattle to save like half of the money, but it was my first time and I was nervous. So a spoiler alert, I didn't get a seizure. I'm back in Taiwan already, so that's a good start. I took the sleeping pills my doctor gave me, and I put on my Sony headphones, which I'm very glad that I bought last time we were in Japan. And yeah, I basically slept the whole flight there, the whole 14 hours. I think I woke up like 1 hour or 2 hours before we landed. So next we landed at O'Hare, and my dad's roommate, Uncle Gui, he picked us up from the airport, and he's actually Sandy and I's green card sponsor, so thank you to him for helping us out with that. And he was my dad's college roommate and classmate. Now he has been living in the States for I think like forever, like since he graduated. He works at this big food company with clients like Chipotle and McDonald's, which is awesome actually. Anyways, we landed, I hooked up my eSIM, and then I saw that Keychron Taiwan, the account, liked my video, because before I left Taiwan, I think the day before, I posted my Newfie keyboard Instagram video, and Keychron liked it. So yeah, awesome. Yeah, that was like the first surprise that I got when I landed. And then, by the way, that video got a pretty good ROAS, which is, I think stands for return on ad spend, whatever. But what I'm saying is it was a good video. A bunch of people bought keyboards after watching the video. So if you are a sponsor, I can make a pretty good product video, so hit me up. Okay, so anyways, he picked us up from the airport and took us to our hotel. Now, it was not a hotel, it was a motel. And first of all, motels in America are very different from motels in Taiwan. So motels in Taiwan are for like couples, you know, and they are like kind of luxury type, you know, big bed, big bathtub, very comfortable. But motels in America are like actual motels, like opposite of luxury, like super simple, not even a fridge. So I don't think they even cleaned our room the whole time we were there. We were there for like 5 or 6 days, and half the stuff didn't work. So yeah, it was rough, but we survived. And our first day there was in Naperville. Our hotel was in Naperville. Our first day was just to rest because we didn't want to be tired, and I didn't want to trigger my epilepsy. So next, we got a rental car. We headed into the city. I think it takes an hour to drive from Naperville to Chicago. And my favorite part of the drive was Lower Wacker Drive. So it's like a weird road highway that I think it begins as a highway and then it turns into a road and then it goes through like a building. The building is built around the highway, I think, or the opposite, but it's like it goes into the building and then goes underground. It reminded me of I, Robot, like the movie, and it was really cool, like the lights, and it just felt like you were in like a tunnel or something. So first stop was Navy Pier, and Navy Pier was very different from what I remembered as a kid, but it was in elementary school. I didn't remember much, but it was really nice. The weather was perfect. It was sunny and you could wear like long sleeves. The temperature wasn't high and it was kind of like winter in Taiwan, but minus the humidity. And we went to see the Route 66 sign, and there are two of them. So one is the new one. It's down by Navy Pier, and the other one is down by Millennium Park. And that one is called the historic Route 66 sign. And we went to see it because it's my dad's dream to ride a motorcycle from the start of Route 66 down to the end. I think it starts in Chicago and then ends in LA or something, or Santa Monica, I think. So I think downtown Chicago is really cool. I really like it. It's very spacious for like a big city, and it doesn't feel super crowded like Taipei. And there are a lot of like cool buildings and architecture in the city, and it was really cool just to see like a super modern building next to like a super old historic building. And we ended up walking to Michigan Avenue. We went to the Starbucks Reserve Roastery, which is basically just 5 Starbucks like stacked on top of each other, and it was really cool. I think like there were really special tubes like that ran through the inside of the building. The tubes would transport coffee beans the first floor to the 5th floor or something. Like when we were there, I was like, I should get something for Sandy. So I looked at like the counter for pour over beans, and then I asked them about the beans, and then I said, okay, I want this one. And then I didn't look at the price, and it was $40. That's like 1,600 NTD. Fast forward back to Taiwan, like we tried the pour over. It was terrible. It wasn't good at all. So I mean, it's Starbucks. You don't expect much from it, but $40 is crazy. I think the Starbucks thing is actually pretty cool. We walked around and spent a bit of time there, and then we walked down Michigan Avenue, and I wanted to look at the Apple store there. I was hoping to get a new MacBook because I heard that getting a MacBook is more cheap in the US than it is in Taiwan. But our schedule was kind of full and we didn't have enough time. But yeah, we just popped in the store, checked some things out, and then we just left. And fun fact, the day after we checked out the Apple store, Apple raised prices on all of their products. So thanks for that, Tim Cook or whoever is in charge now. And that night we had dinner reservations at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. I think it's called Ramsay's Kitchen. I stumbled upon it when I was looking for places to go on Google Maps. And then I told Sandy, hey, there's the Gordon Ramsay restaurant. I should check it out. And then she's like, yeah, tell me how it is. So we had reservations there. It was really good, actually. Like beef Wellington was good. Idiot sandwich, very nice. Dessert was good, and service very good. And I saw that on each of their tables there was this wireless lamp, and I really liked it because when you look at it from afar, like it looks like a candle, but then when you go closer, like it's like a lamp. I don't know how to explain it. I asked the waiter if they knew what brand it was or how we could get it, and then the waiter couldn't find it because there was no branding on the product. Like, I mean, it's 2026. Why don't you have at least a logo on your product? But yeah, I took a bunch of pictures of it, and let me know if you know what this is because I want it. It's very cool. The next day was my dad's planning day, and our plan was to drive down Route 66 and visit a couple of towns. The first one we went to was Pontiac, and the drive was really fun actually. So I haven't seen like super big farms and like absolutely no mountains at all for a very long time. And it was refreshing to see like a change of scenery from Taiwan, which, don't get me wrong, I love Taiwan. The scenery is awesome in Taiwan also, but it's just very different. And yeah, Pontiac is this little cool town, and there are a bunch of hand-painted murals and like vintage graphic design there. And a bunch of classic cars were parked like on the street just for no reason, and a bunch of motorcyclists also. There's like this town square there, and it looks like the one from Back to the Future. We stopped for lunch at this local diner there called Acres. I saw a sign that said they served Metric Coffee. So Metric Coffee is a top-rated Chicago roaster and coffee shop. I think it's like top 100 in the world or something. I had that on my schedule to visit that week, so I was like, hey, they have Metric here. So I tried the blend, which they only had one type, which was a dark roast, which I don't like, but yeah, it was okay. There was also a seizure first aid poster hanging on the wall, so it was like a little coincidence thing. We talked to some of the locals, and they told us that there was going to be a Pontiac only car show later that night. Plan to go to the next town and then head back to look at the car show and then go back home. Hello people, I'm in the States now. Today is day 3 of the Chicago trip. Right now I'm in a town called Normal. Yeah, there's this big sign over there that says Normal and then Route 66. Yeah, it's been really nice. First is I'm very happy that my jet lag is almost done with. First day of the jet lag was not that good. Felt like cloudy, foggy, and I had a headache. Good that I did not have a seizure. A really different thing about the culture here is that random people just talk to you. When you like walk across random people, they usually just pretend you're not there, or they're like polite about everything. But people here in the States, like, they will acknowledge you, if that makes sense. Like, they will look at you in the eye and then tell you hello for like no reason, which I think is really nice. I've talked to like 10 different strangers just walking down the street here these few days, and it's been really nice. Like, people hold doors open for everyone, like that's a thing. I had Chipotle for the first time a couple days ago. It was really nice. I had no idea what I was doing when I was ordering, because the line was really long and I didn't want to hold up anything by like asking too many questions, so I just picked random things to eat, and it was really good. Oh, there's a train right there running through, like right there, if you guys can see. Okay, it's gone now. Tomorrow we're going to take the train from Naperville, because we're staying in Naperville, and we're going to take the train from Naperville to Chicago, and we're just going to check out different neighborhoods that I looked up beforehand. Check around. There's also a coffee shop called Metric I want to check out. I also went to Walmart yesterday, which I haven't been to in like since I was a kid, and it's still exactly the same. And I got like the really nasty donut holes, like the nasty powdered donuts, like all sugar. It was amazing, like just as I remembered it from when I was little. All right, so the car show was pretty cool. It was just like a bunch of cool cars, like old classic cars. Okay, I'm not that much of a car person though. Okay, next, so we decided to test out what a daily commute would be like if we lived in Naperville. So we decided to not drive, and then we take the train system down to downtown Chicago. And that day, the goal was to look at different neighborhoods that we were planning to live in, and then just look at Zillow, walk around, look at the prices, look at the neighborhoods, get a vibe. We took the metro train from Naperville into downtown, and since it was coincidentally a Sunday, they have like a Sunday Metro all-day pass. I think we got that for like $7, and we could use the Metro system like the whole day. All right, so if you're visiting Chicago, the train system can be kind of confusing. So basically, they have three things. One is Amtrak, which is kind of like a long distance train, kind of similar to Taiwan's high-speed rail, but it's like super low speed and it's really expensive and a lot of people don't like it. Okay, next you have Metro, which is like a commuter railway system, and it's kind of like TRA in Taiwan. And mid-distance, it connects the suburbs to the city center, basically. It stops at a lot of places. Last is CTA, which is also called the L train. And it's like the metro, basically. It's like within the Chicago city, there are a bunch of small, fast railways. Fun fact, they call it the L train because it's an elevated rail system. So like L-E-L, elevated L. And people started just calling it the L train. All right, anyways, we took the Metro from Naperville to Union Station, which is like a big station in Chicago. Then we walked and then transferred to the L train and then headed to Metric Coffee. I think it was only a few stops away. And right as we got there, it started to rain. Good thing it didn't like start pouring, but it got us a bit wet. And Metric is, I think mainly like a to-go shop, a to-go coffee shop. And they have these big roasting machines in the back. They only had 2 people at the counter. And it kind of reminded me of how coffee businesses work in Taiwan. Probably similar in the States also, but in Taiwan, a lot of roasters don't like to do B2C. They like doing B2B because it's less work and they just have to send out the coffee beans. And if you have a client that does a lot of sales, they can just they order in bulk. So they only have to do one type of work. For the Acres Diner in Pontiac, that's one of their clients. The 2 baristas looked super busy and they did not, I don't blame them for not smiling or anything, but they didn't look like they were having a good time. So because there was a huge line and they looked pretty stressed out. So yeah, but that's what the coffee shop reminded me of. But the coffee was nice and I really liked their packaging. They have plastic packaging still because in Taiwan, plastic packaging is not allowed. And I bought a bag of light roast blend for Sandy back home. So after Metric, we took the L train again. We went to check out different neighborhoods. I did some research beforehand and I looked at 2 different neighborhoods. So first was West Loop, and the second one was Lincoln Park. So West Loop is basically a newer, more expensive neighborhood for younger professionals that work in the city. Because it's in the city, prices are more expensive. We couldn't look at much there because they were all apartments, so you had to go into the building. It looked really nice. The roads were clean. I don't know, it looked safe, and it was a Sunday, so I don't know, it was nice. It didn't feel like a super busy neighborhood or like a super busy city in that part. So next, we took the L train to Lincoln Park, and it's a very cool area. There's a big park. We realized that the residencies near the L train would pass every 5 minutes and it would be super loud. We first went to look at the cheaper ones and we realized that's why it's cheap. It's super loud. Every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes, there's a train passing. But the neighborhood is nice. There's a college right nearby. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Deep Paul College. You had to walk at least 3 blocks away to not hear the L train. So while looking at Zillow during our walk, we found another place further up north called Edgewater, and we just took the L train to check it out. And it was super quiet. There were trees, it was green, people were walking their dogs, and I think it was a really nice neighborhood. We saw an open house there, and we were just I don't know, let's just check it out. Let's just look at what some houses look like inside. So we walked in. There was only us, and the real estate agent was really nice, and he told us about the neighborhood. Yeah, he just told us everything. answered all our questions. I learned something else while talking to the real estate agent. He told us that real estate agents in the US can't comment on whether a neighborhood is safe or not due to some laws and regulations for preventing segregation. So racism is real, guys, in the US, if you didn't know. Anyways, I really liked Edgewater. A studio apartment or one bedroom would be around $1,300 to $1,800, which is, I think, manageable for our first year there. If I get a decent job, hopefully that works out. And by the way, I had an interview a few days ago with a company in Chicago, and I think it went pretty well. They are interested in a second interview with me, so I hope that goes well. That place is near Edgewater also, so I don't know, maybe Edgewater would be the place. I don't know, Edgewater, okay. And the next part of our trip is to Michigan. So my dad has a research partner friend there. We wanted to visit him. So that's what we did. I think it was like a 5-hour drive from Chicago to Michigan, Ann Arbor. So we had to stop at a place or else it was going to be too long. We stopped at Michigan City, which is in Indiana. And it's nice. It has like a lighthouse. There's a beach. We walked along the beach, checked out the lighthouse. And fun fact, after we left there, we saw on the news that someone died on the beach, like a few days later. It was because of the thunderstorms and the lake had like huge waves, which is crazy to think because like the lake is like, it doesn't actually look like a lake. It's like an ocean basically. It's super big. Lake Michigan is bigger than the entirety of Taiwan. I saw these cool stone chess tables there, like in a nearby park. Like I want one in my house. And then to eat, we went to a restaurant called Royale with Cheese in Michigan City. Best burger and onion rings I've had since I got there. And for our trip, every day we would eat one fast food place, at least. So that was a really nice place, I think. I really liked the burger. They had these really cool sodas, like made with sugar cane. Or cane sugar. Okay, so by the time we arrived at our Airbnb in Ann Arbor, the jet lag was gone, so I went out for a quick run in the neighborhood. It was super hilly, it was fun. I think I'm just gonna go for a 30-minute run and then just go back. Nothing too heavy because afraid of my epilepsy will trigger or something, but I just wanted to get some exercise in. For humans, for dogs. It was my first run back in the US. The last time I actually ran in the US was in middle school, and it was for PE class, and we were running the mile. And I ran, I think 15 minutes or 14 minutes, and everyone laughed at me for that. Next day, we toured University of Michigan. And then we drove down to Troy, Michigan, which is near Detroit, to meet up with my dad's friend. And he drove around, showed us the neighborhood, and then he hosted us in this backyard. We had barbecue. He started grilling pigtails. I didn't even know you could eat that. But it was actually pretty, like, it was okay, it was good. Alright, but he shared his story with us where he arrived in the US with basically nothing, and then now he has a huge home, huge pool, you know, the American dream story. And to be honest, like, it was really inspiring for me. I really hope I walk this, like, a similar path to him. But yeah, pigtails, also good. During our stay in Ann Arbor, we went to a shop called Sierra. I got a bunch of Carhartt stuff because it's so expensive in Taiwan, and it was really cheap there. Super cheap. I got this like resting neck thing. I really like that also. And we bought a suitcase there. After a few days in Michigan, next stop was Milwaukee. We only had one place to go in Milwaukee, which was the Harley Davidson Museum. On our way to Milwaukee, you would drive back the same way pass through Chicago and then go up to Milwaukee. My dad was looking on Google Maps and he found like a route that goes through Lake Michigan, and we were like, hey, is there like a huge bridge there? But then I was like, wait, Lake Michigan is bigger than Taiwan. There's no way there's like a huge bridge there. So we looked into why there's like a route going through Lake Michigan, and it's because there is a ferry that goes through Lake Michigan called Lake Express. It starts in a city called Muskegon, and then you drive up there, you put your car on the ferry, and then you go over to Milwaukee, drive off the ferry. That's a thing, I guess. So we booked tickets for that. We got there, and then my dad drove the car on, and then we started going. There's no cell reception in the middle of Lake Michigan, so I looked for Wi-Fi, and they told me you have to pay $10 for the Wi-Fi password, and I was like, no thank you. So I didn't use Wi-Fi, and I slept, I think, for a bit. It was super windy and freezing on the roof deck, so we just went out there for like a few seconds and then ran back. But when we were starting to approach Milwaukee, the weather got better and we came out, took some photos. So I am the furthest thing from a car motorcycle person. I just look at a car and I'm like, that's a room with 4 wheels, you know? Like, I have no interest in cars or automobiles. The museum was very cool. The way they set up the exhibits, the way they designed it. Like, I was looking at that, and I looked at a bunch of old American graphic design, which was really nice, like retro American typography, because I have done some exhibition design in the past, so I took a bunch of notes down. And the whole time my dad was just like, he disappeared, like he was just running around like a little kid in a playground. And yeah, once that was finished, we headed towards Madison. So Madison is where I grew up in the States, and it's where I spent a lot of my childhood, elementary school and middle school. And the plan in Madison was to meet up with my childhood friend, Joe. So Joe took me on a drive around UW. We drove past my home in Eagle Heights and checked out a bunch of places, and we saw this little Asian girl running an orange juice stand on the sidewalk, and her mom was like beside her. And the girl was like 10, and it was very obvious that the mom was making her do that. So I was like, okay, I need to help this girl out. And she's Asian. It was like a small cup, like a super small cup, $3. Okay, anyways, everything looked super small. A hill, for example, I remember the hill being like super big, but now when I look at it, it's tiny. So I don't know, I guess that's what happens when you grow up. Okay, next morning is our Devil's Lake trip. So Joe has a bunch of motorcycles at his house, so he let my dad ride one of them. My dad was super hyper, and he was just riding around all day. So Devil's Lake is nice, but there's so many people there, it's crazy. I don't like crowded places, but it was really pretty. Like, the whole drive there was very nice, and I got a super bad sunburn because Joe took the roof out of his car. We both got super sunburned. And we stopped by a local art fair. Not affordable at all, but it was fun to look at. So the last day in Chicago, we had to return our rental car, and we went back to Naperville, and Uncle Gui from the first day, he took us out for some deep dish pizza. Honestly, super cheesy, super oily, and first slice is good. Second slice is like, it gets worse. It's very oily. And then that afternoon we met up with my other dad's we met up with my dad's other friend. We hung out at a cafe in Andersonville, and Andersonville is this historic neighborhood, but it's like a huge LGBTQ plus hub. Like a bunch of people from those categories hang out there or live there. As a super traditional Asian family, like walking around there was pretty funny. Like it was like a fish out of water thing. After that, chatting with my dad's friend, and then Uncle Quay picked us up, went to drop us off at O'Hare, and then we headed back to Taiwan. And yeah, that was the whole trip. It was really tiring, but super happy I did not get a seizure, and really excited to see the neighborhoods, because I think it just made me feel like, okay, this is doable. This is not a crazy plan. Still getting used to talking to a camera while walking. So let me know in the comments if you think this format is okay. And thank you if you're still watching, and subscribe if you like, and put a like down, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.